How does Gary Vaynerchuk put it, Rich, as far as like your fandom? Like, I don't hate him by any means, but I'm going to hate on him because I don't want him to win.
Gary V, who I love, friend of the show. Gary Vaynerchuk, you know,
Gary Vaynerchuk,
motivational guy on social media. Gary V says sports are the one time you're allowed to be irrational with your feelings. Like, I hate that guy. You don't really hate him, but the sports version of you is allowed to hate him. Like, man to man, you don't hate Freddie Freeman.
No.
But the Yankee fan in you is like, F that guy.
Especially right now. Like, there's a lot of players on the Dodgers that I actually like. Mookie Betts, so likable. So great for the game. If I was a kid, I'd probably have his poster just because he's so great. Like, growing up, we had Jordan posters. I didn't root for the Bulls. I had Griffey posters. I didn't root for the Mariners. So I respect and love Mookie Betts. But right now, screw that guy.
Yeah. No, same. I respect Juan Soto's game. I said that before the series began.
Hey, he might be a Dodger next year.
Yeah, the Dodger fans who are in the outfield.
I saw that.
Did you see that? They're like, future Dodger.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
The chant got really loud. He turned around and gave a little wave. He acknowledged the Dodger fans.
And, dude, who couldn't love and respect Ohtani and what he means for the game, what a superstar he is. But right now, you think I like that guy? Screw that guy. That's just part of being a fan. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about Freddie Freeman. Because in reality, what he's doing is unbelievable. So you can't skip that, Rich, because that immediately sucked the fun out of the air last night again at Yankee Stadium. That could have been so weak for Yankees yesterday.
Just to make it clear, after the Yankee fans cheered future Dodger. I'm sorry, the Dodgers fans. Steve Cohen, Mets owner, he texted Juan Soto the money bag emoji.
Oh.
So don't worry, we're all good in Queens. Don't you worry.
It's going to be wild to see who gets this dude.
But you know what? You're right. Freddie Freeman doing unbelievable things.
Dude, it felt like the nightmare all over again.
It was almost laughable. Like, are you kidding?
I'm like, seriously? And even casual fans, like my girlfriend's walking by, she's like, why did they keep pitching to him? I'm like, I don't know.
I believe it's plus 500 for a home run.
For the seventh game in a row.
That's pretty typical, but
and if you cruise one right over the plate for the guy,
that would be insane.
Keep it low and outside. Luke Weaver actually pitched him really great last night. So anyway, Rich, I didn't want to fast forward past that because it's just incredible to see.
There comes a point in the game where you're like thinking, this is going to be a battle. There just needs to be some type of distinct momentum shift. Something needs to happen to set the tone. And then it happened.
His name?
Anthony Capobianco. Oh, the guy that's got prosciutto. I feel like he had fresh mozzarella popping out of his pockets.
Good one, Tony. Out of his second chin.
And the guy with the double chin. Let me tell you, when the foul ball's hit down the right field line.
Gleyber Torres, foul ball. Mookie Betts goes running into the stands right there, makes the catch.
Do we have the actual call? I was saying I didn't even ask you, but play the call because I think everyone's like, what just happened?
Fly to right by Torres. Betts in the corner. Does he have room? Fights with the fan. And they're going to say that it's an out and fan interference.
Yeah, give me that ball, Mookie. No ball for you. Oh, hey, Peter, get his hand. Hey,
I immediately posted on social media like my live reaction. It was the most New York thing. You go to 30 MLB stadiums, that had Bronx bleacher creature written all over it. These guys, I love their quote, and we're going to get into this, but I love the quote of like, when you get in our space, we D up.
If you're going to quote it, you goonburger. You're no better than Anthony Capobianco, who used his last brain cell to rip off the glove of Mookie Betts.
Oh, don't forget his brother Darren.
He goes,
grabbing at the other wrist.
We're not going out of our way to attack. That's not in our character. That's not who we are. He goes, but if it's in our area, we're going to D up. Ain't that right, Darren? Let's go, Yankees.
See this wall? You come on this side of the wall, this is our ball.
Yeah, this is
our
ball.
Over here, this is our ball.
This is our city.
Yeah,
welcome
you stay
to
over
the
there.
Bronx, Mookie.
You stay over there.
Yeah.
You come over here. You come over here.
Yeah. You know what I love, too? What I love is the no
actual
hesitation. The no hesitation moment of they were there. And you know what's funny? When you read about it, they said that for years they've talked about how they would react if that were to ever happen. And they executed without any hesitation, without any pause whatsoever. His last brain cell was, tear his hand off, Tony!
Well, they said they talked about it in the past. They're like, if this ever happens, this is what we're going to do.
Isn't that crazy? Did I tell you?
Grab it.
There's so many layers to this. You know how we always say one of our inspirations is the little tortilla girl? Because she's taught us a very popular lesson.
Well, it was a very popular commercial where the family was debating, this very Mexican family, do we do flour or corn tortillas? That's a big debate in itself. And the little Mexican tortilla girl, the old El Paso tortilla girl, goes, why not both?
It's always flour.
And then they cheer her in the air and celebrate her.
Hey, Greg.
Hooray!
should always be flour.
Why not both is the
So,
point
agreed.
of the story.
Spot agreed. Always flour.
Why not both? Applies to when people are asking, was that disgraceful or awesome? And my answer is, why not both? It was equal parts.
I wouldn't say awesome, Rich. I'd watch your words here
No.
because you can't condone this buffoonery. This is hilarious or disrespectful because or disgraceful because there's something very funny about it. I can't deny that. I have a sense of humor. These guys were idiots.
If you can't find the
Hilarious
humor,
on a huge stage.
if you can't find the humor in a couple of New York Goombas trying to rip the ball out of Mookie Betts' glove, I had a bigger problem with the brother Darren touching Mookie's other arm.
He was pulling his wrist. They both got a hold of both wrists
Now,
at
here's
one
the thing.
point.
The ball and the glove, it all happened so fast that the replay makes it look like it happened over a 30-second time period. This was like bang, bang. The brother, Anthony, was the guy that went in the glove. I could see the instinct. He's like, I'm part of the team. Bronx Bombers. I got this. Oh. The brother?
Austin had the glove. Darren grabbed the other wrist.
Who's Anthony then?
No, it's Anthony.
Is it Anthony?
Anthony. You think some
Capobianco.
Danny. You think there's a Guido named Austin? Come on.
Hey, his name is Tony.
It's Stone.
Yeah, the only way his name is Austin.
And by the way, he's a local legend now. Free drinks anytime in the Bronx.
The only way his name would be
That
Austin.
stands.
The only way his name would be Austin is if it's like, yo, me and your mother, we made you in Austin when we went this relocation. Oh. So I have a problem with the brother grabbing Mookie's other arm. The glove, I could see in the moment what this dope was trying to do. So my stance is equal parts hilarious and equal parts wrong.
Disgraceful.
But
disgraceful, and here's why. Here's why.
It's a disgrace.
Please, you're going to get a lot of backlash, Rich.
I don't care. I think it's funny as hell.
No. But here's why it's disgraceful.
gross.
Yes, I could see the funny in it because he used his very last and maybe only brain cell to say, it's my ball. Get out of here. I'm here to D up. And then his goofy brother jumped in at the same time. The ball goes flying out. He looks at it like a dope, like, hey, that's the ball. I did a good job,
And
right?
then he looked at the
Hold
right
on.
field umpire like he was a bouncer at a club. Like,
Hey, he's in my territory.
I didn't
this
touch
is
him.
New
I didn't
York.
touch him. I didn't touch him.
His glove's over here.
What
It's
a
my
me.
ball.
What a me.
So here's why it's disgraceful. You gotta put yourself on the flip side of things. If that was Aaron Judge and
my
someone was
God.
yanking on his wrist, practically breaking off, bending his wrist in a terrible direction aggressively, because it was aggressive, even though it was short.
It was super aggressive.
It was very
That's
aggressive. And if I saw
assault.
someone else
It
doing
was.
that, it was
I
assault.
agree.
I
It
actually
was.
agree. If you saw,
Assault.
yes,
Yes,
assault.
he
If
pried
you
his hand
saw-
open. It was theft.
If you saw, or I saw, someone else doing that to Aaron Judge in right field, I would hate that fandom, that team, and everyone involved in that moment. I'd be like, yo, that's so wrong, man. Aaron Judge is a good guy. And so what? So is Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is a great guy. He didn't deserve that.
They manhandled a professional athlete,
Bingo.
bent his wrist, yanked on his arm.
And made New York fans look like trash bags.
And if at the same time,
But yes, funny.
and then
it-
turn the
dude,
camera around.
And yes, if it turns the tides of the Yankees, we're gonna anoint them the heroes of the series.
See, Rich, even as a Dodgers fan, I would agree with you if they just hit his glove and were aggressive with his glove.
Yes, but that's not what
Because
happened.
remember in the outfield, the Dodgers-Padres series, Profar, when he went into the outfield crowd, remember, the fans backed up because they were like, oh, they didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah,
But-
slapping it is one thing.
Yeah, I
and
know.
they did that.
But once you touch the player's body, I think that's where the line was crossed. immediately.
listen. I
You
think
mean grab his wrist?
I'm not changing my stance. I think it was wrong. I think it was disgraceful. But I also am allowed to think it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, why not both?
Mookie
Hilarious
Bet-
and disgraceful.
Mookie Betts is fine. It was the wrong move by these fans, but to say it wasn't quintessential Yankees fan.
Hey, listen, we attacked, but respectfully.
I think because you guys grew up in that area, you're like hardened to this kind of behavior. But for a lot of people, I thought
That is
there was
true.
there's zero funniness to this, and it was
you're
just
a
shocking.
lamo then, Sam. I mean, how do you not find it funny that some
on.
guy with a double chin that's
I can
like,
see.
You're
I
Big
can see
Apple
where you.
Sam. Come on.
I used the power. I used the power of my. No, if you really want the breakdown, I used the. I saw Mookie coming. I said, "This is my territory." And my brother looked at me. I looked at him, and I used the power of my double chin to aggressively grab and then yank, and then the ball came out, and that's how it was done.
I was Sam, it's being revoked.
Fine.
No,
I will gladly go back to Iowa Sam.
You're no
He's
longer
right.
Big Apple Sam. You
Listen,
can't be Big Apple Sam.
Apple Sam, you're
as Big
absolutely
Apple
right,
Sam,
because
I cannot endorse this kind of behavior.
That is
all right?
exactly what you get and expect from the bleacher creature
I
mentality.
grew up with this, all right?
Yeah,
I just
so
thought it was distasteful, okay?
It is very much the type of guy that we grew up with, so there is an understanding
Yeah.
there. But
Yeah.
when I put myself in, like I said, the flip side of it, I would be furious. I would not be kind and happy if it happened to Judge, so I have to play it both sides. I do agree with Rich on one thing. It is both hilarious and disgraceful, but I can't condone that behavior. These dopes were escorted out. Then
They're local
apparently they were going to be allowed back to the game tonight, but now their tickets are up for sale again. They're banned.
Covino, I'm still texting with Darren about coming onto the show, so don't call him a dope yet.
Oh no,
They might be listening.
I trust me. I say it respectfully. He's a New York guy. He knows where I'm coming from. I think it's funny, but it's also disgraceful from guys like Sam. Not everybody grows up with guys like that where they get it.
Rich, would you feel any different if one of your Mets outfielders had his wrist bent like that by a fan?
If they did that to Nimmo, I would have said, disgraceful, but sort of funny that some Bronx dude with his pinstripes on, with his double chin, like, oh my God.
Anthony had the away jersey on.
Because you know what he's thinking? In his mind, he's thinking like, I'm going to make a difference.
No one's gonna see this.
Yeah.
There's no cameras
Yeah.
looking at me. I
You
can
know
get
what?
this. I'll take
He
it
didn't
out.
make a difference.
They'll think it's an out.
counted as 2 runs. He did the opposite of what he wanted to do.
I mean, you know what?
Be,
You know what? I
I'm
was
going to
Sam-
be a Yankee legend like Jeffrey Mayer.
We're gonna remember.
That's why.
We're gonna remember this moment forever. And you could argue he started the Yankee rally. There's a good chance that he's
Are
being.
you going to give this credit for being the moment and not Anthony Volpe's Grand Slam?
No, this guy. Let me tell you. I guarantee there's a bar in New York City or a venue that would pay this guy $5 to $10 grand tonight to host a watch party.
Oh yeah.
He is a local legend for the next 24 hours. I guarantee there's some bar in the Bronx somewhere that's like, and tonight, you know who's going to be on hand? Goomba number 1.
No, you're right. Because as he was being escorted out with his brother, they were getting high fives and pats on the back,
No
and I was
doubt.
like,
He was called
Dude.
an actual hero.
Yeah.
And in New York, that word is not thrown around lightly.
Put it in perspective.
NYPD,
Everybody in the
FDNY,
Bronx,
and this guy.
every person in the Bronx, every Yankees fan loves this guy. Every casual fan thinks it's hilarious. So he's a legend in his circle and in his bubble.
The Yankees got no fight left. Let me show them what a fight is really like.
And by the way, there's other updates. Rob Gronkowski's involved. We'll explain.
We have that. When you think, man, who would possibly know this guy? Who would possibly relate to this? There's a great Gronk tie-in that we'll get to. But we are going to talk NFL quarterbacks. There's an update with Anthony Richardson and the Colts. We're going to get to midweek major. Is Derek Jeter a dud? But your thoughts on this guy? Could something be equal parts
Disgrace.
like gross and awesome? Because I think it could be. There are things in life that could be funny and wrong. Listen, not to get political, but Kill Tony just did that speech at the Garden with Trump.
His name is Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, but the Kill Tony podcast is how people know.
Yeah, but no one calls him Kill Tony.
Tony Hinchcliffe. Hey,
I mean,
mind
that's
your own
his-
business, bro.
Hey, that's his name, jabroni.
So, the Kill Tony podcast, Tony Hinchcliffe.
Go one, Tony.
I mean, something could be equal parts like, oh, that was funny, but all wrong. When he did the Puerto Rico jokes and everyone's like, yeah, they fell flat. Not everything is so cut and dry, right? And this is a great example of, especially if you're a Yankees East Coast fan, which I'm not.
I am.
He is a disgrace and local hero all at once.
Let me throw your own words back at you. Is this something that you would do?
I always put myself in that scenario. I would not.
So then why would you defend that behavior?
Well, because my friends growing up did
What?
all sorts of things that I thought were funny that I wouldn't do. I'll answer for Rich.
Okay.
Because that's the truth. When you grow up with boneheads like that,
Doesn't make it acceptable.
you understand it, you get a good laugh at it. Doesn't mean you would do it. That's why I really can't condone it. I understand it. Is this what breaks the slump of the Yanks? If that's the case, I'm all for it.
If the Yankees
but I
do something.
I credit Volpe
No.
for really changing what went down last night. The guy played his ass off. He had a game. He ran the bases. Well, he sort of messed up at first, but then
You got to
made
give a
up.
little assist to Dave Roberts too for not going lefty there.
Well, that's true too. We're going to break that down too.
Oh, yeah, we're
was
gonna talk
it a
more-
strategy
That's
game?
baseball.
Was it too much of a risk? There's lots to get to in regards to the game. These idiots steal the headlines.
Yeah,
though.
but my final thought, and we'll break and take your feedback, is that it could be equal parts terrible and hilarious. We're allowed to laugh at something when no one got hurt. It was just a typical Bronx bomber, a typical Yankee fan. Oh, I mean, that is, if you grew up on the East Coast, that is a Yankees fan. Newsflash. And this guy's a local hero. It's hilarious and ridiculous. But I think that if the Yankees go on a little run here and force a game 6, maybe force a game 7,
This is part of the documentary.
the turning point is this buffoon.
Until the fateful moment when Anthony Campobianco reached into
The
stands.
Yankees and their fan base seemed dead until this moment.
Until this Bachagaloop reached in and ripped the glove off of Mookie Betts.
Is this going to be part of the Sports Illustrated highlights?
Yeah. Telling you, he should get his own baseball card from Topps.